So let's talk about something you've probably heard of, but maybe you weren't totally sure what it meant. B2B e-commerce. It sounds kind of technical, right? But I promise, by the end of this, you'll see it's actually a pretty simple idea and it's a huge part of how the world works. Let's break it down together.
Okay, to get started, let me ask you something super simple. Do you ever buy stuff on the internet? You know, like a book, a new shirt, maybe some headphones? Of course you do. Well, when you do that, it's called business to consumer, or B2C. But what happens when a business needs to buy something from another business? That's a whole different ballgame. And that, my friends, is exactly what B2B e-commerce is all about.
So, here's how we're going to tackle this. First, we'll start with the super simple parts. Then, we'll see what happens when a business sells to another business. After that, we'll look at some real-life examples that'll make it all click. We'll also cover why this is so important. And then, I'll have a little something for you to think about at the end. Sound good? Let's go.
All right, first things first. To really get this whole B2B e-commerce thing, we just need to understand two little words. That's it, just two.
The first word is business. And yeah, you already know this one. A business is just any company that's trying to make money by making or selling things. You know, like a local store or a giant factory. Simple, right?
And our second word is e-commerce. This is just the fancy term for buying and selling anything online using the internet. Remember when I asked if you buy things online? Yep, that's e-commerce. You're already an expert.
Okay, so we've got our two pieces of the puzzle, business and e-commerce. Now let's snap them together. This is where the magic happens.
So B2B e-commerce is just this. It's when one business sells stuff to another business, and they do it online. That's all there is to it. The B2B part literally just means business to business. We're not talking about you or me buying something. This is about the stuff companies need to run. Let me paint a picture for you. Think about a little local bakery that makes amazing bread. They need a ton of flour, right? So instead of making a phone call, the bakery owner just goes onto the website of a huge farm, clicks a few buttons, and orders all the flour they need. That transaction, that's B2B e-commerce in a nutshell. One business buying from another online. Now, to really understand just how different this is, let's compare how you buy something to how a business buys something. The difference in scale is kind of mind-blowing. Okay, let's use a phone shop as our example. Before you can walk in and buy that one new phone you've been wanting, that shop has to get all those phones in the first place, right? And they aren't just buying one or two. They're ordering hundreds, maybe even thousands of them at a time. And this is where it really becomes clear. On the one hand, you have B2C. That's you buying one phone for yourself. But on the other hand, you have B2B. That's the phone shop buying 1,000 phones so they can sell them to people like you. The amount of money and the number of items involved are just on a completely different level.
So you might be thinking, okay, I get it, it's bigger. But why does this really matter? What's the big deal about businesses doing all this buying online? Well, it turns out it helps a lot.
The benefits are just huge. First off, it makes ordering things so much faster and easier. Think about it, no more paper catalogs or waiting on the phone. It also lets them shop around and find the best prices, which helps them save money. And maybe the coolest part, it lets them buy from companies all over the world, not just the ones down the street. It totally opens up their options and helps them grow.
All right, we're almost at the end. So let's wrap this all up with a quick final thought, and then I'm going to turn it over to you.
When you boil it all down, B2B e-commerce is really just the hidden engine that powers our economy. It's businesses using the internet to buy all the big, important things they need from other businesses to keep going, to make products, and to grow. Pretty simple when you think about it that way, isn't it?
And now that you're in on the secret, here's a little challenge for you. The next time you're out and about, look around. What other examples of B2B e-commerce can you spot? Think about a hospital buying medical supplies or a construction company ordering steel beams. It's happening everywhere all the time. Once you know what to look for, you'll start to see it all around you.